They've changed tactics, they've changed their team lineups, but at the moment it's just not working. They desperately need to win the last couple of games in this evening session, because as you can see, there's already been plenty of blue on the scoreboard. Up next, it's Oscar Palermaa versus Tommy Jones, and your commentators are Cass Edwards and Simon Golding.
Thank you, Tony. As we head into another singles, well, I think the crowd here in Barnsley are stunned about the way that Weber Cup 16 has progressed. They're happily stunned, of course, because it's Team Europe that are dominating. And this man, the former captain, dropped a couple of years ago. He's back with a vengeance. Oscar Palermaa has been quite awesome. And we have the fire brigade on standby for this next one, Cass, because these two boys are going to burn this lane up.
Without a doubt, Oscar has bowled 257 and 258 in his first two singles games.
Well, just a little bit overdone, but that is the problem that the two-handers sometimes have. And when it goes, it goes.
So just overcooked, it's high through the head pin, leaves the 3-6 and the 10, and this is going to be a single-handed, hard and fast spare, and away it goes.
Well, if you're going to do it in the first frame, and that's an open or a spare, because it's something you can recover from, something you can cover. Now, the last time we saw this man, he got us very excited about a potential maximum, but that was on an oil pattern that he picked, a shorter oil pattern at 37 feet. On this longer oil pattern, how does that change things for him, Cass?
Well, firstly in the setup, and probably in the ball that he's using as well. It's going to go a lot longer. And it's hit very nicely, so he's opened with a strike. 289 was the game that we really thought was going to be the 300. And he's had a 237 as well, so pretty much lined up with strikes. That's a great looking shot as an opener there. And the difference in the oiling pattern, of course, Simon, is that this is 3 feet longer. The oil goes down 3 feet longer, so it's less time to react in the back end.
Great adjustment, though, from the American captain. I think he'll be feeling this more than most. It's hurting right now, and there you go. There's the two-handers problem. As forceful and as powerful as they are, they can lay some railroad tracks right through the pins and just not mix it up.
It's a great shot when it's in the pocket. If it's not perfect in the pocket, that's what you can leave. And this will be hard and fast yet again. Ooh, to try and jump one across and make a spare, but unfortunately it's an open frame. And also, don't forget, Simon, this is the third game that this has been played on this lane, so it's called playing on the burn, which means that some of the oil has already been either evaporated or moved around all over the place. So overreactions could come into that. That is the oiling pattern ratio. 4.2 to 1 means there's 4 times as much oil in the middle of the lane than there is on the two outsides, but a lot of that will have gone by now, being the third game. And there's the messenger, and it's just laid flat in the gutter.
Oh dear, the opportunity, I'm afraid, spurned. That's been the tale of this Weber Cup.
Just watch this one, hits the headpin light and it bounces across the lane. We call it the messenger, it's the headpin that's a bit lively, but not lively enough. And look at that oil track on Tommy Jones's ball. Hard and fast for the spare.
So, bit of chat down there. Bernie White, our referee, being called into action there by Tommy Jones. He was talking about something different down there, Bernie, he was saying. No, he's okay.
Perhaps he's just trying to tell me that it's only the second game that has been played on this condition and not the third.
Are we getting a bit previous, are we?
Yeah, just a bit ahead of ourselves, but
understandable, Cass. These are exciting times for European bowling, and in your lifetime, you've watched the superstars of the PBA dominate the sport. It's a new era.
It certainly is. It's a whole technological change. The game has changed so much with the reactive bowling balls, the oiling patterns, and the fans.
Literally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, oiling patterns and bowling balls have changed this game beyond almost belief. Some of the scores that are rolled nowadays out on the Asian, European and PGA tours are just crazy.
Yeah. Well, what he's the foul line buzzer has gone off, and Tommy Jones is standing there looking at the crowd saying, well, who did that? It wasn't me.
Well, normally if the foul light goes off, he's 2 feet back from the foul line, so how that could go off I don't know. But it hasn't re-racked the pins. It's left the 3 pins that he left up. That would normally be swept away. And so it's the 3, 6 and the 10 he's got to spare, but he was nowhere near the foul line.
He's coming so low. He's coming so low through the that beam with the ball and bowling a long way back. Is it the ball that's setting this off?
The ball is and there's the disgust because the ball has set the foul line off. Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what Bernie White calls here, the referee. It may well be that the ball has set the foul line off, and I'm hoping that Bernie has not called foul.
Watch this. Yeah, you see, that's breaking the beam. That ball is breaking the beam in the same way that the foot would. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what he called there.
Just keeping an eye on this score for you. It all looks good. Despite the laughing and joking, it's not a laughing matter for Team USA. And Oscar Palermo determined to wipe any remnants of a smile off TJ's face here. Still a good sporting gesture between the two men. Very often the bowlers will exchange a low or a high five as they walk past each other. And that's just in respect of the shot that they've just seen their opponent throw. That was a great shot.
That's what you call a TV ball, isn't it? Coast to coast, almost bouncing off the outside boards.
Yeah, it's exhibition stuff. It really is. Great response from Tommy Jones. Yeah, Oscar Palermo, he's a clever boy. He throws 2 and 1-handed. And he throws a lovely little fading back up with one hand, Cass, doesn't he, in exhibitions? It's a super shot to watch.
Sometimes, if the game is won and it's the 10th frame, we'll see Oscar throw a back up, meaning he'll bowl it right-handed, but he'll hook it from the left to the right. He's just asked referee Bernie White for a re-rack of the pins, which he's allowed to do a couple of times in the game. Obviously, he wasn't quite happy with where the pins had stood up in a true triangle.
We've been speaking to a few people around this arena, and Cass, they feel that if Team USA lose one of these remaining 2 games this evening, then the deal is done for Team Europe.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I would not disagree with that. Oscar just overcooks that one a little bit. Doesn't make the head pin.
Well, they're going to have to take a look at this, because if you choose to bowl back from the foul line, which a couple of the bowlers are doing, yeah, that's the hand. That's the hand gone through the beam.
Yeah, you can see the lights come on, and Oscar can't believe it. The only way to resolve this is to actually turn that foul light off, and so it's fair for both players.
Yeah, Bernie White in the background just explaining exactly what is happening to the lanes official. And again, and that's an open. Now this is going to play on the players' minds, so we're going to have to come to a decision here about the actual technicalities of turning off this foul light.
I mean, yeah, just make sure have somebody from the other team sit there. Will you sit there just to make, or somebody, I know you will, but I mean, I would prefer. They turn it off? No, they can't.
Okay, so there we go. Can't be turned off. So Tommy Jones wants to make sure that that foul line is being looked at by several people.
Well, it's certainly not his foot that's breaking the line. We've seen that. It's the ball, or it may be some sort of vibration as the ball comes down just past it. I'm surprised it can't be turned off, which would be fair to both players.
So expect to hear it go off again. Yeah, there you go. Doesn't disturb him though. Gets his strike. Just confirming with both sides of the arena that he's actually legal for that throw.
Yeah, foot was well back, lofted it over the foul line, and the light still went off. So referee Bernie White has said, no, that's a fair delivery. It's 2 strikes in a row, and we're going to have to call for a line judge or ignore it totally.
The players are just going to have to grin and bear it here.
Yeah, but it's enough to have put them off their mental game.
Another single left by Oscu. Yeah, it has rather detracted here. The spectacle, it seems to have got to Palermo a little more than Jones.
Yeah, you can see the difference already in the maximum scores. And Palermo goes off yet again on that spare ball. But we're going to ignore that, I think, and I think referee Bernie White will just ignore it. He's moving closer to the foul line just to keep an eye on.
That's that little buzzing noise that you can hear in the background when the players bowl. That's used to indicate whether the lead foot or any of the feet have gone over the foul line. That would then be a no score.
Yes, it's a touch or go over the foul line with your shoe.
No noise this time, but 10 left. Does seem to be a very definite decision from Tommy Jones just to release the ball a little further back from the line.
Yeah, and now because that foul line's been going off, he's also lofting it a bit as well. Look at the oil on that ball. Just where the ball tracks all the way around the outside.
Spare's fine. So currently TJ tracking a 235 potential maximum. It's a narrow advantage. Palermo, one of those players that at any point in a game is capable of really stringing the strikes together, and that'll cause problems for everybody. For all sorts of reasons. It's not just the fact that Palermo's scoring and stringing the strikes together, it's what he's doing with the lane oil. He's burning it off, he's moving it around. He's changing everything for his opponent.
Yeah, so much rotation on the ball.
No. That's a bad one from Palermo, and this is trouble for Team Europe.
It is. That's the sort of luck that Bill O'Neill has been having for America. He's hit the head pin and he's been left with the 8 and the 10 pin, which is just a crazy leave. It will be an open frame. Just an impossible split. He's going to go hard and fast with the single hand, and this will be fast. Trying to bounce one pin out, but it's not going to happen. Third open frame for Oscar Palermo. They've all been splits. They've all been split, Simon.
Yes, good point, Cass. That's been the scourge of the American team, and in particular Bill O'Neill. Is this a little change in fortune for Team USA?
Well, look at the difference in the maximum scores that open frame has made to Palermo. Sub 200 now. Get over. Of course it won't, will it? It's a 4-9 split.
They're all at it.
Yeah, just crazy. It is slightly high on the head pin for looking for a strike, but the 4 and the 9 do stand up when it's very close to a strike.
Difficult spare tap from the messenger, but it was the messenger that actually stabilised the pin in the end.
Yeah, that's right. That does happen. It is a makeable spare. He'll go hard and fast at this left-hand pin to just touch it on the left-hand side. It will bounce across and take the 9, but it's got to be very accurate. Seconds just for the 1.
Open drops him to 212. That means he's back in Palermo's sights, but Palermo has to find that strike zone again. He's deserted him for the moment.
Well, we're in the 8th frame. It's that close, and what do we say? The first player to double.
Yeah, good call.
Absolutely. Out to be the winner. No strikes for 4 frames. Palermo, and that's lofted, and it's held line all the way. How about that?
Mika's still with us in spirit. That's what Mika Koivinami does too. Just take the oil out of the equation. the lofted ball, but it still sets the alarm off.
Yeah, we both called that one. Mika Koivuniemen, the previous captain Team Europe, lofts that ball down the lane, as many of the bowling fans and viewers will know. But it still counts.
If you're watching over in the UAE, Mika, fond hello from Barnsley. Everyone sends their best. But he'll be enjoying this. The result at the moment, the scoreline at the moment is all Team Europe. But Team USA have a chance here.
Yeah, looking to snatch one back. Let's have a look at Tommy's feet. Way back, and the foul lights come on. Fortunately, Brendan White is down there to keep an eye on things. It's a technical glitch that can't be switched off just at the moment.
Oh, that's it, I'm afraid.
Oscar, what are you doing? He's lofted that ball down the lane. He's left the 4-6-7 and put the 10 pin in the corner. Is it 4-6-7-10? No, it's not. But he's only going for 2. But look at that spare! He's done it! Whoa, what can you do?
What a shot from Palermaa. This could be save of the day.
2, 4, 6 and the 10. Bounces one across into the other, and that's a spare. Well, you don't see it that often, but it's the likes of Oscar Palermaa with the power and accuracy that have done it, and it might just keep him in the game.
It's a big ask. It's a big ask. He needs this man to trip up here.
You would have said that the game was over once he left that, but to pick it up, well, it's just amazing.
Jones looking for a double. And it isn't a double, but a single pin spare would be fine for TJ. That still leaves him in a really strong position coming into the final frame.
14 pins.
It's not even anywhere near the foul line, and it's gone off.
Well, I mean, you see the funny side of it, and hopefully it's not going to put him off. He's got to make this corner pin spare here.
I guess it's the only way to deal with it. These things happen from time to time.
Yeah, you can't let it put you off your game. You have to carry on. Jones looking for the spare, the 10 pin on the right hand side of the lane. Takes it away nicely.
Well played, Tommy Jones. That wasn't easy to keep focused. Now then, it's all about setting the mark here. Oscar Palermaa needs strikes all the way for 178 to ask a question of Tommy Jones. It's not much of a question, but it's going to force his opponent to do something. No strike would mean no question. How on earth did they go down from that?
Well, yeah, I'm lost for words, as I think Oscar is as well. Nowhere near the pocket, hit the head pin, and just everything sort of fell over.
Oscar likes to have a bit of a mess about and a laugh and a joke. He's just suggesting he uses something different for the next throw. Look at that. That's unbelievable.
There's no luck in bowling. That was just crazy, wasn't it?
That was so poor it nearly wasn't a Brooklyn. Oscar then trying to recover, sends it wide, it goes coast to coast, but this time leaves a ringer at the back, and that'll be it.
Yeah, a solid 9 pin, simply because that ball was cutting back so fiercely back through the pocket of the 1 and 3 pins. It cut right through, didn't deflect, and it can only be a spare, and the 168 is a subpar game. Tommy Jones just got to keep the ball on the lane.
And that's one of the worst scores of the tournament so far from Oscar Palermaa. That makes it interesting.
Yeah, needs more than 8 on his first ball, or a spare.
Point here from TJ, then a point from Bone means that Team USA will feel they've got something to work with on Sunday.
Whoa, I don't believe that.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
The game is lost. He wanted 8 pins or 9 and a spare.
That is unreal.
The game is over. Oscar has won this one. This is just crazy. Look at that. 4-6-7 split.
That is out of the blue. But it could be another point into the blue. Oh, well, you just can't legislate for that in sport. The man had to step up and throw what he's thrown 1,000 times this season alone. And unfortunately...
Well, actually, Simon, if you look at it, it's a 168 tie.
I was just going to say what's left on that. I'm not sure he knew that he could take those 2 out for the 168 tie. I don't think he knew that.
Well, I don't think I knew it, and that's why I called the game.
Quick bit of thinking, quick bit of maths from my co-commentator Cass Edwards means that Bernie White, for the first time at Weber Cup 16, has to step into the breach and sort this out with a roll-off. Tell us how that's going to work, Cass.
It will be, frames 9 and 10 will be bowled again. The 168 scores are forgotten. The maximum scores that either player can make with 4 strikes is 60.
First time we go into overtime, Tommy Jones not only didn't know that he had to hit those 2 to make it 168 all, didn't know it was 9 and 10 again. Now, unbelievable. Oscar Palermaa suggesting that there be a change of bowlers. No, boys, you got to finish the job on your own. Well, I wonder what the mental process is here. I wonder who's feeling better about this. Because Palermaa, when he saw that shot, would have been thinking it's mine.
I did.
Yeah, he might not have been thinking so quickly either. Oh, what a way to open up in the roll-off. It's a massive strike from Palermaa. Handed a lifeline by Tommy Jones, and he's grabbed it with both hands.
It is the way to start. It gives him the opportunity to shoot 2 strikes, 9th and the first one in the 10th. But Jones has got to stand up first of all and bowl his 9th frame. Pressure very much back on TJ.
There's your new maximum scores for the roll-off. TJ needs a strike. Oh, he would have settled for Mr. 60 as his new nickname, but he's not going to get it. And once again, the door is open for Team Europe. What a bizarre and dramatic match.
Well, it's not over yet, although that was the best looking shot in the world. He's got a 9 here and can make a spare. He could still strike out with 3 strikes to make 50. Which means that Oscar would have to at least get another strike.
Okay then, Palermaa then to try and shut the door on his opponent. And if you're going to win a point, that's the best way to do it. Take it out of your opponent's hands by striking it off the card.
To guarantee the win, he really needs at least 1 more strike. Must get the first one in there.
He's got it. Brilliant stuff from Oscar Palermaa. What a time to wake up.
What a fantastic looking shot. Makes 2 strikes in a row, 9th and 10th. Don't just sit down, Oscar. You've got 2 more shots to play in the 10th frame.
Is there another twist to what has been a fascinating tale in match 17 of this Weber Cup?
Well, a 9 spare strike here will give Oscar 49, which will give Jones a chance to strike out for 50.
Strike it is though from Oscar Palermaa. That's the way to close the door. Hasn't just closed it, he slammed it.
Needs just 1 more pin now and the game's all over. 3 strikes in a row.
Well, this Weber Cup 16 just keeps giving us story after story. Is there nothing that Team USA can do to stop Team Europe romping away with this one? Absolutely unreal. and just roll it back, not even 10 minutes, and Tommy Jones was in control. Had to throw a shot that he throws time and time again. But here on this stage in Barnsley, it is so very different. The pressure, the cameras, the lights. For Tommy Jones, the Team USA captain, I'm afraid, the pain.
The 168 tie was actually a comedy of errors, if you like. Very low scoring, not very much pin action, and lots of splits. So, in fairness, a roll-off may well have been the actual way to decide the game, and Oscar Palermaa stood up and shot 3 strikes and a 9 count and takes the point.
Yeah, definitely not one for the purists, this game.
Well, the last couple of frames the 9th and 10th has been, but no, you're quite right. 168 wasn't the best game. And maybe the best man just won that one by a whisper.
That is bizarre. A quite horrible game in regulation set up a fabulous finish. Team USA now staring right down the barrel as Team Europe get closer and closer, just 4 points away from winning the Weber Cup for a 3rd time, courtesy of Oscar Palermaa putting another point on the board. Team Europe lead 13-4. We got one more match to come this evening. Join us for that after the break.